Good morning. Hope you guys and gals have enjoyed these broadcasts. This is going to be broadcast 10 of 10 in the House of David Bible News Study. But there is still a recap and some maps we have to go over. Today is 10 of 10 briefing. Jesus' death was only the beginning. Urgent news. Here we go. Jesus' resurrection was a considerable blow to Caiaphas, the Pharisees, and other members of the Sanhedrin, who must have been hoping that the death of Jesus would finally put an end to all their trouble that they had been having with him. If there was anything in these stories of resurrection, then their troubles might not be ending, but only just beginning. Apparently, they had been worried that precisely such a turn of events might come about, for they remembered that while Jesus was still alive, he had said words which conveyed the impression that even if he was put to death, he would come back again from the dead. And they were afraid that such a story would cause no end of trouble. So, in the day following Jesus' crucifixion, even though it was the Sabbath, they sent a delegation to Pilate asking him to provide some Roman soldiers who could guard the tomb, for they felt that with a city crowded to the seams, with many curious and excited people wanting to see the burial place, which was not far from the city gate, some sort of trouble could easily break out. Pilate, still angry with Caiaphas and his friends for the way they had stage managed Jesus' trial, and forced him into condemning Jesus to death, refused their request and told them to get on with themselves if they wanted to. So, a detachment of temple police was sent to seal the tomb and to keep watch over it. But what were the views held then about the idea of resurrection? There was no general agreement among the Jews about whether or not one could believe that there was such a thing as resurrection from the dead. Roughly, there were two opposing schools of thought, that of the Pharisees and that of the Sadducees. The Sadducees strongly affirmed that this life was all there is, and the idea of any future resurrection was incredible. The Pharisees, on the other hand, believed in a resurrection after death, and this was clearly more popular than the ordinary people whose life, being so often hard and difficult, made them want to look forward to something better in the hereafter. There were two main characteristics of these beliefs of the Pharisees. The first was that the resurrection of the dead would only take place at the end of time, at God's final judgment. The second was that they believed it would be a shared experience when all the righteous and faithful of Israel would be resurrected together. This meant that the claim of Jesus' followers that he had risen from the dead was novel and unprecedented. For that, there should be a just a single individual raised, that this should happen before the end of the world, was something just quite unheard of by the Pharisees, and was likely to be as much opposed by them as by those who did not believe in the resurrection at all. Urgent news. Spring, 30 AD. The crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus are astonishing and profound events whose significance we can only hint at in the broadcast. Jesus had already privately given his disciples some teachings about the meaning of his death, but it remained for Paul and other New Testament writers in the following years to expound more fully the significance of Jesus' death and resurrection. The disciples were familiar with the idea of ghosts and had seen Jesus himself bring other people back to life, but they were convinced that the resurrection of Jesus was something completely new. Others had been restored to their mortal old lives. Jesus' resurrected life was transcendent and eternal. And it took some time for the impact of the resurrection to transform the disciples. When Passover was finished, they returned to Galilee and, being unsure what to do, resumed their old fishing activities. Here Jesus appeared to them again when they went up to Jerusalem a few weeks later for the Feast of Pentecost. They had their last meeting with Jesus before his ascension and received their commission to spread the good news of Jesus everywhere.